check out this Boss Snowplow truck. The mag, I'm pumped. What's up, Stripe Nation? Blake Albertson here with B&B Lawn Care. Today, we have something super exciting. Adam here. What's up, Adam?
Hey, how's it going?
Came from Minnesota, huh?
That's right.
To bring the SR Mag. We're here in my garage because it's rainy and windy, of course. 2 months too late here in Kansas City, but the SR Mag, we touched on it a little bit at LAL, did an overview video, but this is kind of cool for me because this machine was actually at Equip Expo.
Yep.
LAL, now it's here, it's kind of traveled the country.
Yeah, so if you went out to the Toro booth and demoed an SR Mag, this is the machine right there. So you're actually you were on Blake's machine.
That's awesome, that's so cool.
Hopefully you treated it right. It.
This is actually your Snowplow. This is a V-Plow?
Yep, yeah, so this is the plow that I have for my demo machine. It's a 4-foot 2-inch V-Plow. So also for the SR Mag, we have 4-foot and 5-foot straight blade, and we also have a broom and a snowblower. So, but this is the attachment I brought with here today because your attachment's not quite here yet, so I just want something to show off here.
Yeah.
So, but the beauty of this machine with the SR Mag compared to like the Snow Raider Scout, if you saw that in the LAL video, or a regular Snow Raider, those are just going to be a 4-foot straight blade. You can't switch out attachments or anything. The Snow Raider Scout, no de-icing capabilities. The Snow Raider, you can put basically an extra liquid tank on it or a granular drop spreader with the exact path. But with this one, again, it's really nice. You can switch out attachments with it. And it's really easy to do. As you can see, it's all hydraulic. So it's basically just like hooking up attachments to a skid loader. So very quick and easy to do. And then there's just 2 pins on each side here, and it's just a lift arm. So if you're in a hurry and you need to switch attachments, you should be able to basically do it in 30 seconds to a minute. So really quick and convenient to do that.
So with the SR Mag, it's the biggest machine, right? But it offers the most attachments and capabilities.
Yeah, it's the most versatile machine we have. So again, like the Scout, the Snow Raider, and the Mag. So the Mag is kind of the top tier because we can switch out those attachments. But unlike the smaller units, like this is a 26 horse Kohler EFI engine. So it's going to give you all the power you need to actually run those attachments, especially when you're looking at the broom and especially the snowblower. You're going to need that power to do it, and that EFI is really nice, especially in cold weather.
I was watching like a video, I guess on your guys' YouTube channel or something. What is it about the battery or the engine that you're like able to start it in colder temperatures? Is that true?
Yeah, yep. So basically what this one does, because of the EFI and everything like that, and it's designed for that cold weather performance.
Okay.
So basically electrical system and everything for the cold cranking amps and everything, it's designed for that purpose specifically. So where some machines that are designed for summer, they don't like that cold weather. I mean, we've all been in the shop and you have to move that mower in the middle of December or January when it's really cold. This one, especially in cold weather, it fires right up. Runs like a champ.
Huh, that's awesome.
Yep.
You know, well, I mean, even my little aerator there, it's like, it's cold, I want to go back to the garage.
Yeah, but this thing was on a trailer for about 6.5 hours from Minnesota. Not that it's extremely cold here, but it fired right up and was ready to work. So yeah.
And then I know I asked this, so I wanna get your response on video, so folks, if they have questions. There's a lot of ports here, so can you explain why that is? And like, you're only using 4 out of the 6 here.
Yep, exactly.
For the blade.
Yep, so you have basically your hydraulic up and down. That's not going to be involved with these ports at all. But in this case, since we have a V-plow, so we're going to independently control either side of the blade. That's why we have to have an in and an out on each side. Now you have 6, so when you step up to like the snowblower, that's so you can have this extra function. So not only can you rotate the chute, but you can control the deflector as well.
Gotcha.
So that's what the extra ports are actually for.
Okay. So this machine, you could have a V-plow. There's 2 sizes of a straight blade. snowplow,
Yep.
the broom, the snowblower.
Yep.
And then you guys, I don't know, that you guys are gonna work on more attachments in the future, right?
Yep, something we're working on.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
And then you could also have a drop spreader, a broadcast spreader.
Yep, so you could have the exact path drop spreader, so it's basically 1.5 cubic foot spreader. It goes right in the front, and the name exact path means just that. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to drop the salt right here in front. So in reality, if you're doing sidewalks and you're either brooming that snow off or blading it off, whatever, you can drop salt at the same time.
Gotcha.
So, and it's only going to go the width of the machine. If we're doing maybe some larger areas, because if you have that 5-foot straight blade on the front, you can put wings on it. You could have a 6-foot wide blade. So in that case, you might be doing some driveways or smaller parking lots. So instead of just dropping the salt with the exact path right in the width of the machine, that TGS 85 on the back could broadcast a wider area. So it gives you versatility. You can have both the exact path and that TGS 85 on the machine at the same time.
And
so
where do those plug into?
So basically, on this machine, we don't have it set up, but the controller, it would go right here.
Okay.
So you have a controller that's basically going to control the speed of the spreader, so you can actually get pretty precise with it.
So those are like electric?
Yeah, yep,
basically?
It's electric driven. Yep.
Okay.
So those are the two granular options, and then the liquid option we have, it's a 40-gallon tank that goes on the front. So you're going to choose either the exact path or the 40-gallon liquid tank.
So you could have a liquid tank, the broadcast spreader, and then any of the front attachments.
Yep, and like we said before, when you leave your shop, you don't have to just stick with one attachment. I know a lot of people that have an enclosed trailer, they might have a V-blade and a broom in there. So different situations they may encounter at different sites, they can switch them out really quickly and easily.
You kind of mentioned to me that I could get like a straight blade with those wings on it, 6 foot, and then have a broom and just keep it on the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're doing sidewalks and everything, you want that broom, that's great. But then if you're doing something like residential driveways where you want to do a larger area, just switch to the straight blade. It's really quick and easy to do.
That's awesome. And this is real life. We got dogs, we got kids, and most importantly, dinosaurs and toys, and that's just that's what you get in babies. And moms.
That's real life.
In a messy garage. We're not fancy around here. So this is awesome. Can you start it up? I want to run through, maybe before you start it up, some controls here.
Yep.
One for me when I'm out plowing, just be like, oh man, what does this do?
Now you have something to reference back to, right? So we were talking about the ports on the front, hooking up like a skid steer for all your attachments. This is where you're actually going to control that. So right here, this is going to be your up and your down. The nice part with this too, you even have float function on it. So when you set the blade down and you're going over some uneven sidewalks or things like that, that blade's just going to float. And then these are going to be whatever ports you have.
This is your float down?
This is your up and down and your float. So you can lock it in place.
Okay.
So basically you just lift it up like that and it's in float.
Gotcha.
And then now you're out of float. And then these two are going to control the different functions. So for example, with the V-Plow, the way it's hooked up, you can bring it back and you can bring it forward on the left side, and that's the same on the right. But the nice part is you can grab both of these levers at the same time. So if you want to put it into scoop all at once, or if you want to pull it back into a V all at once, you can do that. So it depends what attachments you have, but this is where the functions are actually controlled for moving that. Now if you actually want to use an attachment like a blade or a broom, this is where you're going to control that. So you have your forward and reverse. The nice part with this, so if you have a broom, you could be brooming forward and you're getting it out of the way, but let's say you want to go up to a door and actually pull that snow back away, you can reverse that and pull it away, drive over it, spin around, and start brooming it out. So it's nice that it has the ability to do whatever way you want.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be your attachment.
So when I have the broom on, what do these do?
So this again is going to be, with the broom, this is going to be your up and down, and then you're going to have your side to side with this.
Would you float the broom?
Yeah, so there's actually little like gauge wheels that are set on there.
Okay.
So you just want to set that. So you don't want to be putting it into float and putting everything down, all the pressure on it. So you set those gauge wheels, and then you can put it in float, and then it's going to follow the contours.
And do you put those like where the bristles are just touching the pavement?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So usually it's like, you know, a 1/4 inch down is what you want to do, because you just don't want to burn through that broom any faster than you really have to.
Right.
So that's going to be your attachment functions right there. Here, this is basically your on and off for your lights. So you have 2 lights on the front, and then you have the one on the back here. This switch here, when you actually turn it on, and I'll just turn the key so you can see this. This is how you can actually cycle through different codes and things like that. You can adjust through and see the different settings, you know, whether it be, you know, like right here, you have your battery voltage and your fuel, so you can cycle through. And this also has codes on it too, so if you need to cycle through and see what's going on, that's what this switch is actually for. And then right here, this is your throttle control. So again, it does have auto throttle, so when you fire it up, you can let it idle, and then you can bring it up to speed. But the nice part is it does have operator presence on the platform, so when you do step off, it's going to throttle down for you.
Okay.
So, you know, we even have holders on here where you can have a shovel. So let's say you're doing an area where you have to hop off and shovel.
That's pretty cool.
You're probably not going to remember to throttle down, and why have that engine just screaming, right?
Right,
so it's just going to do it for you. And then once you hop on the machine, start moving, it's going to throttle up to where it's supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
So it's got that auto throttle. It's really
Would it
nice.
turn off the broom?
So in that case, no, it's just going to throttle down.
Okay,
but if
cool.
the attachment's engaged and you step off,
yeah,
it's going to kill it.
And then if you had like the strobe lights, you would put the switches here?
Different auxiliary switches can go. Okay. Right here you can see we have this up here and down by your feet, but these are heat vents. So it's actually directing the engine heat. So you have that one right there, so that's going to blow probably at your knees, unless you're much taller. It might blow somewhere else, but that's going to direct that engine heat and help keep your hands warm too.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then you can even loosen them and adjust it. So if it's a really warm day,
oh wow,
you could certainly do that too.
Okay.
So, and then of course the most important feature, the cup holder. Got to keep your coffee there with you at all times.
That's cool.
So
that's awesome.
But yeah, and then on the back, again, you're just your operator platform. You can fold it up right here with this. You can fold it up, get it out of the way. If you don't have a lot of room in your trailer, and then just your park brake operated by your foot.
Can you touch real quick on like maintenance? You know, blowing out air filters, of course, but like,
yep.
I mean, is it like after each storm, is there something that we should do, or just something that we should check, or is it, you know, by hours, or? Yeah,
so always refer to your manual for different maintenance intervals for the engine and things like that. But for the most part during the season, always make sure your tires are aired up properly, because I know that's something that generally gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Keep track of your engine oil, also your hydraulic oil, make sure that's good. But the biggest thing I want to stress with machines like this, and it's not just a machine but also snowplows, the tendency is going to be to pressure wash everything, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you're dropping salt, what can happen is when you're pressure washing, again, the pressure is forcing salt in places it really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, if you just want to blow this off with an air hose, just kind of get that salt residue off, that's a good idea. But if you are going to wash this, just get a bucket of like car wash soap and just scrub it by hand. So many people pressure wash it, and then again, salt gets places it shouldn't be that you can't get out again. So yeah, just scrub it down by hand. Even if you're going to use like a salt neutralizer, that's a good idea too.
So just like scrub it down and then just rinse it.
Just rinse it.
We don't need to like power wash it off.
No, I tell people just don't power wash. And that's the same thing too with like plows on your trucks and things like that. You're pressure washing, and then again, moisture can get in certain plugs and stuff like that. So it's best just to rinse it off and scrub it by hand. That's going to keep it looking the best, and also prevent that salt from getting places where it should not be.
That's really good advice. Yep. That's awesome. Well, let's run through this V-Plow, since it might be my next attachment, but you also have me thinking about that 6-foot straight blade with the wing attachments.
Yep.
That might be a really good option too for my next attachment.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be doing driveways and things like that. Yep. You get that 5-foot blade, get the wings for it. So it's also going to help you contain the snow, but give you that extra width. So that might be really good, but who knows? Maybe you also get a V-Plow. It depends. It depends what accounts you might be taking care of, right? So it's kind of situational, and just you'll have to see how things go.
right, Adam, my friend, thanks for making the trek. Now we're in a little hurricane action here. Windy and rain.
There's plenty of variety down here.
I love it. Well, hey, I appreciate everything.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the trek.
Well, let's just do our snow dances and hopefully get to use this many times.
My gosh, that's cool.